YouTube, you got some explaining to do today. You have got some explaining to do today. Now, y'all done already done some craziness with my video that I released earlier, and I want you to know I see you. Okay? I see you. I don't know what kind of issues y'all got going on today, but y'all better get it fixed. Okay? Y'all best to get it fixed real nice and quick. Okay? Now, with that out of the way, we got to talk about this whole situation going on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, B, because it is all the way lit, y'all. Let me tell you something. If you sleeping on Jersey, I don't even know what to tell you right now. I do not know what to tell you if you are sleeping on the New Jersey Housewives at this moment in time right here. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. I see a couple of y'all are up in here from the members, but I can't necessarily see how many people are in the room. So if you are in the room on this video, it's really important that you guys let me know whether or not you can see and hear me clearly, A, and then where you're watching from, B, because we're going to go ahead and get into the doggone thing and just do what we can do. Because, baby, when it's live, you got to deal with what you got to deal with, okay? Now, the first things first, I want to let you guys in on. I see some of y'all in the room. Some of y'all in the room. Some of y'all in the room. Okay, good. You can hear me. Hey, Detroit, I see you in the building. Jersey is in his naive. Hey, okay, cool. Y'all can see and hear me clearly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with YouTube today. I had an issue with uploading my earlier video, so I had to re-upload it. And it's just something real crazy going on with the system. You know what I'm saying? So, we might have to investigate some things in some other spaces. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that out of the way, let's discuss the news, the tea that came out just moments ago. Apparently, it's some big Housewives news coming out today. I don't know quite yet what it is, but when it comes out, we're going to talk about it. And hopefully, everything going on with YouTube will be back up and running clearly, okay? Oh, good. It's not just me. Chrissy says multiple YouTubers have said that. I don't know what y'all got going on down to the YouTube today, what kind of server y'all got going on, what kind of issues y'all got going on, but y'all need to fix this ASAPidly, okay? Fix it ASAPidly. Okay, before we even dive into the tea, real quick, I just want to let you guys know, for those of you guys who we had talked about this last year, my Housewives fan fiction series is coming soon. It has taken me a very long time to get this out. I'm expecting to do about 4 to 6 books in this first series. So if you are a reader, get excited because it's coming. I got it all mapped out. Everything is coming together. Finally, it's taking me a lot of time, but we about to do the doggone thing, okay? Now, I'm going to leave up this notification as people join in that multiple YouTubers are having the same issue, because I want people to be aware that some of your favorite creators, in addition to me, may be having the same things. And so I want you guys to know that they are experiencing issues as well, because, I care about my fellow coworkers, and I want y'all to be able to support them, and I want y'all to know what's going on with them. Now, having said that, let's get into the tea before we get into the show. Now, Andy Cohen says, allegedly, and this is coming from Bravo Housewives, which I did tell you about in the earlier video. It says, Andy Cohen says security will be needed at next week Real Housewives of New Jersey filming. Now, I told y'all that this season was going to be extra short. I ain't mad at it, but dang. I mean, it just then popped up on us real quick. But who y'all think needs security? Who y'all think needs security from whom? Let a brother know in the comments down below. Who y'all think needs security? Just go on ahead and let me know in the comment section who y'all feel like needs some security at that good reunion, all right? Does Margaret need some security from Teresa? I mean, for real, Teresa can't hit nobody on that show. She can. I mean, now listen. I guess you can throw some things because we did see that in the trailer. So maybe Margaret's a little worried about Teresa tossing a vase of flowers at the reunion from across the way. And Teresa did push Andy at one time, so maybe she does need security. I don't know, but what I do know is Margaret was not here for Teresa's ish today. Okay. She was not here for it today. And let me tell you something. I was not ready for Margaret. I was not ready for Margaret today. Okay. I was not ready for Margaret. Tracy wasn't ready for Teresa. It was one good old episode today. So when we rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, like we about to do right now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, to me, I gave this episode a 10, baby. It gave me a 10 for that very end. So much happened in this episode, and the devil was in the details of this episode. You had to be listening and watching each character carry a bone back to the next person. It was just fantastic, Housewives. And let me tell you something. I do not mind when the editors do some funny editing and when they add in some extra spice to the episode. But this is an episode to me that harkened back to the reason why I started watching Housewives in the first place. These little one-on-one ponderosas, these passive-aggressive digs and comments, these warnings that somebody's coming in hot today, the game of telephone that happened. This to me is a classic Housewives episode if I ever have seen one myself. And to be quite honest with you, Real Housewives of New Jersey is just bringing it. And it's in large part due to the cast. I don't even want the cast to be changed next season. Bring back the same cast if they're going to keep giving us this type of energy, because it was a complete and utter mess, okay? It was a complete and utter mess. Baby, it was so good. I was like, ooh, ho, 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 ho. But let me tell you something. I'm almost going to take away a point for that to be continued. Because y'all, let me tell y'all something. I hate a to be continued. Even though I feel like this would have been an episode where a to be continued was warranted. But because we have already had about 6 to be continues, I don't really understand it. Bravo, can y'all please stop doing these to be continued? We know by the very nature that there is another episode coming, that the drama is to be continued. So it's really redundant for the to be continues to continue to happen consecutively, episode after episode. Please stop it, okay? We're going to be watching next week. We're still going to be here. We still want to see the drama play out. We know it's coming back next week. Just let us know, okay? I mean, you ain't got to keep doing these to be continues. It's annoying to me, okay? But I'm not going to take away a point today because it was just that good, okay? Now, let's get started. We first see Bill and Jennifer on the phone, and it was so funny that the producers had him say, "Oh, baby, I'm going to be late coming home from work tonight. Don't keep dinner waiting." You know, back in the day, I feel like that's what the husbands used to tell the wives when they was going to their little ponderosa with the secretary or whomever. That was real Mad Men style. You know what I'm saying, from back in the day? I'm not saying that's what Bill was doing, but the way they put it in the episode, it just gave you that Mad Men type of vibe. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Mad Men, I'm talking about, ain't that show with them people that was working in the advertising agency from back in the day? And then, it just be feeling like, "Honey, I'm calling to let you know I will be late for dinner. Don't wait up for me." And then the wife at home like, "Well, I'll just put the kids to bed." And no good and well what the husband was doing. Back in the day, that man was just trash, baby. Back in the day, that man was trash. But anyway, that to me is what that scene reminded me of right at the beginning. I was like, bravo, editors. First of all, y'all are not slick, okay? Because we, the people, caught it, okay? Meanwhile, we learned that Jennifer is going to go meet with Margaret so they can get on the same page. They both want each other to take responsibility for their own parts. And again, this feels like one of those old school two warring factions are going to meet up and have a Ponderosa at a coffee shop to see what it's gonna be. Y'all remember two of the best three of the best Ponderosas like that was one when Nene and Sheree got together to discuss Tyrone, and they got into it about Sheree talking about Nene's teeth and Sheree running up after Nene leaving out the restaurant, and Nene telling Sheree she is very, very rich. Okay. It also remind me of that sit down that two of them that Cynthia had. One with Portia, where Portia showed up all late and extra late, and Cynthia she had on that page boy hat, and she was not having it with Portia that day. And that one where Cynthia sat down with Phaedra to have that little Ponderosa, and Phaedra had to get up and walk away from that table because she said she was gonna beat Cynthia's ass. Y'all remember that? That's what this moment it gave me, that type of feeling, y'all. The old school housewives feeling. So anyway, they go on ahead and they have their meetup. Okay. Jennifer says she wanted to protect her children from what Marge exposed. Marge says she didn't expect for Jennifer to react the way that she did. Now, Margaret, I got to call you to the carpet, even though you know I like you, Margaret. I love me some Margaret. But Margaret, how did you not think she was going to react to that news in that way? How did you not? You had to know that was going to cut her to the quick. Now, granted, y'all been cutting each other. But, I mean, I feel like, Margaret, you knew. You knew where you was going with that one. You said, cut, what, and you did it, okay? Anyway, the talk really turns to the fact that Jen wants to address everything with Bill, okay? Because let's get to the real nitty-gritty of this situation. Bill is the culprit here, okay? And Bill is the person who needs to be dealt with, to be quite honest with you. Because, you know, to see Jennifer struggling with this situation and to see that Bill is not even trying to, you know, really talk to her about it and really help her sort through it. You know, I feel like if that was me, I would be doing any and everything to get back into my wife's good graces, to appease her and to hear her out. Because once she is able to heal from that situation, they can get back to business as usual. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Jennifer doesn't realize why the man cheated and why he don't stand up for her. We learned that he used to criticize her all the time when she thought that she was doing everything she could. And again, y'all think Margaret is the bad person in this situation for releasing that information, but we really need to be taking a look at the way Bill been treating his wife. Apparently, we didn't know all of these things. You know, all these criticism and everything, and she trying to do whatever she could to keep this man happy. That's some foul stuff right there. And Bill, you definitely need to be up in the counseling session to understand what it is that you used to do to this woman to make her feel the way that she feels. Okay. Anyway, you're supposed to love and lavish and just dote on your significant other. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I just feel like, you know, and I'm not a marriage counselor. This is not marriage advice. This is not relationship advice. This is entertainment, okay? As the people have to say. But what I will say is this. I do find that, you know, when you are in a situationship, a relationship, you know, a sexpectationship, whatever you want to call it, dote on your person. Don't criticize your person. Love on them. Compliment them daily. Write them little love notes and stuff like that. Keep it fresh. You know what I mean? Anyway, Margaret tells her, you know, listen, girl, everything is going to work out. Bill is a good father. He's a good man. You done stayed with him for 10 years. You can work through this, okay? They both end up taking responsibility for their part in hurting each other. Jennifer also wants to make up with Melissa, but Jennifer is a little bit annoyed that Jackie is still mad at her. And Marge is like, well, you was digging for information about Evan. And Jennifer says, well, and they get into it to Teresa, and Margaret is like, well, Teresa wasn't digging. And Jennifer is like, how do you know that Teresa wasn't digging? And I said, well, tell us more, Jennifer. Tell us some more. Please tell us some more, Jennifer. Give us all the tea at this Ponderosa. Now this was some eye-opening stuff, even though I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm just surprised that Jennifer is insinuating that maybe, perhaps, I don't know, was Teresa digging? I don't know. I didn't say she wasn't digging, but I didn't say she was. Okay. Take a guess. What do you think? Okay. Chime down in the chatterization. Was Teresa the one digging? Was Teresa the one putting the bug in Jennifer's ear and the battery in her pack to dig up some dirt on Evan so she could use it for her own benefit to take down Jackie? Okay. Because she still didn't like when Jackie told her, if you could control your husband, then your husband and you would not have went to jail. That is why Teresa is still mad at Jackie. Okay. Anyway. And Marge says, were you asking around for Teresa? And Jennifer says, well, you know, I'm not going to say all that. I'll take full responsibility. Okay. Marge in her confessional points out the hypocrisy of Teresa. And so then the talk at the table turns to Teresa and Lewis. And Margaret points out that the rumors are already out there about Lewis. And Jennifer says that she would point out any red flags if she saw some with Lewis. Margaret said, oh, really? You will point out some red flags? What about when we was all at your house and Teresa was not letting this man talk because she was trying to protect him, and he told her that if she didn't let him talk, he was gonna leave, and says if you don't teach them the lesson, they won't ever learn it. What about that? Wasn't that a red flag to you? I'm telling you, Margaret is firing on all cylinders here, okay? All cylinders. Every last one of them today, okay? So anyway, the two of them end their conversation on a good note, and they hug it out in the rain. And it honestly, it did feel good to see that they was finally on one accord, because I'm so tired of them beefing. I really am. Y'all know it's been 8 episodes, and I'm like, okay, let's get on to something else already. And sure enough, we did. Anyway, Dolores and Frank are shopping. She recaps her mom being at the hospital. The surgery went well, thank the Lord, okay? But now we got to worry about changing her mama's diet. And Miss Dolores, I understand it, because you know, it's so interesting how as we all get older, you kind of have to start, you know, paying attention to what your parents are doing, because you got to start thinking to yourself like, okay, now some of these habits that you got, parent, we're gonna have to change them, okay, for you to live a better life, because I want you to live a long time. All right. Anyway, Frank was hanging out with David, because everybody hanging out with David except Dolores, because he don't want to talk to her because he mad that she broke up with him. She don't understand why he not talking to her. Frank want her to take her time and not be a serial monogamous, because Frank is worried that she just going to jump into another relationship, which she is already in another relationship. But that man looked like he been taking her out of the country and things like that, and doing things for her that David maybe never did. Okay, so Dolores, I say go ahead and get your serial monogamy on, and however you want it, and get it how you live it, and live happily ever after. Okay. But then apparently Dolores had joked that Frank was banging the hookers. I ain't mad at it, Frank. I mean, listen, do what you do. Do what you do. You ain't hurt nobody. Do what you do. I don't care. Anyway, we learned that Tracy, the friend of, is hosting a team building exercise at Ticky's suggestion. Teresa is going to bring some athletics line of some of her athletics line for the rest of the ladies. We learned that Jackie got all her blood work done and her EKG, and the people want her to go into an inpatient program to deal with her, you know, her eating journey. Okay. But she don't want to go. And Evan is looking like, girl, if you don't get up in there and deal with this issue. And anyway, she wants to do something that's more on her own schedule. I'm like, Jackie, if you feel like, and this is on a serious note, if you feel like you need the help, and this is what the help is recommended, maybe you should be doing what the help say. And if you got a husband that says, hey, it's okay for you to go into this facility 3 nights a week for 3 hours out of a night or whatever they want you to do, then go ahead and do it. I got the kids. If it's going to help you be a better person, that's a good man right there, Savannah. You might as well go on ahead and take your time and be up in there. But she can't do it while she's filming, so she's going to have to wait until after the season over. Anyway, he just wants her to do whatever it takes to get better. Joe and Melissa have a conversation about Antonia not wanting to cheer anymore. And Melissa feels like, well, I need to push her to get things going because when I was young, and she had her father pass, sadly, she said I had to get myself back out there and get to getting and do what I had to do, and I had to scrap and I had to hustle. Okay. And Joe is like, well, maybe you should not force her to do this. Maybe you should just, suggest it. And I'm here to tell you, listen, as a child, as a parent, I'm not a parent. I just got a dog. Well, 2 dogs. One live with my mama. But anyway, I just feel like this. I think back, I reflect back on my parents, and my parents suggested that I do things, right? They suggested that I take karate. They even put me into class. So I do know some karate. However, it was 4:00 in the afternoon on a Thursday, and I wanted to go hang out with my friends. So guess what? I quit karate. What I want to say is this: sometimes you got to let your kids go on their journey of self-discovery. And yes, you can make the suggestions. Yes, you could do all that you want them to do. But if she's not feeling it, she's not feeling it right now. And you got to let her kind of go through those emotions as well, and just continue to be there and talk to her as she works her way through the situation, because you forcing her to do something is not going to necessarily be the best outcome. But I definitely say you can suggest that maybe she, continue the activities that made her feel good once before. Okay. Now that's my parenting 101 advice, even though don't nobody listen to me because I don't have no kids. Anyway, Jennifer is sitting around with Bill. She done spoken to the agency and they're gonna get a full-time nanny on the way. Thank the Lord. Because she got a lot going on. She relays to Bill that she and Margaret have a truce. And she also says that, it came up that she ain't really ever dealt with the infidelity issue from 10 years ago. Okay. And so she need to deal with it now. And she's still disappointed that he didn't defend her that night when she had to kick all them folks out her house. Bill says, do you have doubts that I'm there for you? And Jennifer's like, yeah, we all do. Okay. And Bill says, well, I just don't even want to be around that group anymore. So I'm not going to have to deal with any of that. And Jennifer is like, just sitting there like, see, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. And she says it's in her confessional, not to him, but she need to be saying it to him. She says to us in her confessional, I always have to just deal with what this man wants to do in order to appease and please him. And I thought to myself, if Jennifer, what I want to know is what Jennifer has going for Jennifer. Clearly, she has the show. Clearly, she has her kids. But I also think that even if you are, and I know that, listen, being a homemaker is a full-time job. But even in being a homemaker, you have to have those things that make you you. You know what I'm saying? That make you happy, so that your happiness is not wrapped up into what another person feels about you, right? So my worry for Jennifer is that she needs to first maybe start to go into counseling herself to get through the issues that she has to work through with the infidelity. And if she can feel like she can work through it, then maybe they can go to therapy together, since he's not willing to go yet, right? Because here's the worst thing that could happen in that situation. She goes to therapy, she learns how to heal for herself, and then she suddenly discovers that maybe this is not the place where she wants to be, because she's not getting what she needs from her man. And see, man, Bill, aka you need to go ahead and be in those therapy sessions so you can you can learn what to do to help your wife get through this transition. Take ownership for your actions from back in the day, because it don't sound like you've done that quite yet. And then maybe, just maybe, you guys can start fresh from there. Okay. Anyway, Margaret stops by Jackie's house and they sitting there eating by the pool. Jackie relays to Margaret that she's getting help, and Margaret is like, "Well, I've been concerned, but I ain't trying to face the wrath of you no more. So, you just tell me what you're gonna do, girl, and I'm gonna be here to support you." Now, Jackie, who I feel is in a little bit of denial about how much help she actually needs, because she's like, "Well, I just want to manage all this myself." Listen, I'm just gonna say this from the perspective of a person who also deals with their own issues with anxiety and whatnot. And I know these are two separate issues, so don't get me and don't yank me in the comment section. But if you could have dealt with this all by yourself, you would be fully healed. Chances are, to me, it sounds like if you are seeking the help of professionals, then maybe you should follow the professional advice, Jackie. And that's just my thought on it. You know what I'm saying? You trying to self-manage the help. I mean, the professional. Girl, you can't manage the professional. Listen to the professional. If you don't trust the professional, get a second opinion. But I guarantee you, the second opinion is probably going to tell you what the first person told you. So, I mean, you got to have to make a decision at some point in time. I cannot do this alone. I need some help. I'm going to follow the guidance of what people see. A lot of times, too, y'all ever bought a course from somebody? Y'all ever bought a course? And I'm totally going off on a different tangent right here now. But y'all ever bought a course from somebody? And the person in the course laid out a step-by-step plan for you. But you thought to yourself, I think I could change the plan and do something a little bit better. And then the results didn't turn out like you wanted them to. That's the type of situation I feel like I don't want her to be in. I want her to get the help that she needs from the professionals in the way that they are telling her to get it. Okay? Now, anyway, Jackie, they talk about Dolores and they feel bad about what's going on with her mom. Marge relays her conversation with Jennifer and reveals that Jennifer doesn't know if she could work it out with Bill. Marge then says that Jennifer said, "Well, how do you know Teresa didn't do any digging on the Evans situation?" And Jackie is pissed. And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, this game of telephone is about to get messy." Okay. Jackie is pissed because Teresa is so scared of everybody asking questions about her man. And Jackie warns she should be careful. And she definitely should be careful because it's some more news that just came out about this man right now. Right now. Right now. It's out there. I don't even feel like pulling it up because I just feel like at this point in time, we done already seen enough red flags with this man to already kind of be concerned about Teresa. But listen, hey, if she like it, I love it. Okay. Anyway, Teresa and Jennifer stopped by to check in on Dolores for coffee. And we learned that David has offered for her Dolores' mom to stay with him, but she knows her mom wants to go home. Apparently, Dolores ran into David at the hospital and he looked her up and down and then kept moving. That's some foul stuff right there. David, you are a foul individual. Now, thank God you are taking care of her mama because otherwise I would tell her to cuss you out, okay? And y'all know I don't even like to cuss people like that, okay? But I think he deserves a good cussing because at the end of the day, the least you could do is say hi. It costs you nothing to say hi. Even if it's a dry hi, say hi. Give us something. But don't look at me up and down and act like I'm not even there and I'm invisible. And just a few weeks ago, you was mad that I broke up with you. No, that's not what you're going to do, okay? Anyway, Dolores says she wanted to take something to deal with her anxiety, but she didn't because she feels like whatever she's going through, she needs to go through it and feel it in order for her to grow. And Dolores, I have to tell you, that is a very strong mentality because honestly, under that amount of stress and anxiety in dealing with your mother, I would have definitely wanted, I would have had to take me some type of anti-anxiety medication, okay? Definitely to get through it all right? Anyway, Dolores wants to know, Jennifer then relates all that to her situation with Bill. Somehow we get on Bill. She relays that Margaret and her had their little ponderosa and they got back on better terms. She also relays that Marge said that Bill defended her at boys' night. Dolores is like, well, what happened at the boys' night? Well, Jen says that Evan said I was a horrible person for digging. And Dolores, I love me some. Y'all talk about Dolores all y'all want to, but I like Dolores because she keeps it usually, sometimes, 100% for real, except when it comes to Teresa. She kept it totally real with Jennifer and said, well, Jennifer, You do be digging, okay? You digs. So let's not even act like you didn't do any digging. And Jennifer couldn't even say nothing because she knew she was right, all right? But there's a twist to this whole digging. I'm going to get to it in a minute, all right? Now, anyway, Jen then relays that Marge told her that Tiki was asking Lewis questions on behalf of Tracy. And Teresa wants to know why Tracy is asking questions, because she heard that Tracy was Tiki's live-in nanny while Tiki's wife was actually pregnant. And Teresa's like, but I don't ask you no questions. And that's the truth. Well, I mean, I don't know if that situation with Tiki and Tracy is true, but what I do know is it's true that Teresa ain't asking no questions. Probably because Teresa don't even know that the girl on the cast, okay? She don't even know. She's like, you're not full-time, you're not important. So anyway, I won't be asking any questions about you and your relationship anyway. And then Teresa says, well, Marge shouldn't be asking no questions about my man at all. And Jennifer, oh Lord, Jennifer stay in some muck and some mire, okay? She says, well, Marge was asking me, would I tell you if there were any red flags? And I said, I don't think I see any red flags. And now Teresa is super annoyed. And she says that she doesn't have to answer any questions from Margaret or Tracy, and she's going to get them when she see them, okay? Now, it's the day of the tree climbing event or whatever they're doing. And they're going to do it with blindfolds on, and somebody going to have to guide each other. And Tracy has to partner the people together with people that they having communication issues with. And in my mind, I'm like, nope. First of all, I'm not climbing no trees. Second of all, I'm not doing it blindfolded. And third of all, I don't trust none of them. So anyway, Margaret relays to the girls that she had an emotional conversation with Jennifer, but hearing these things from Margaret makes Melissa realize, well, maybe she's been too hard on Jennifer and she need to cut her some slack. Jackie arrives, Dolores arrives, and Marge then relays to the group that Jennifer might have insinuated that Teresa was digging for dirt on Evan. And she says, well, Jennifer never said Teresa did, but she ... And I could not hear what she said right after that, but it don't matter because we know what happened. Dolores says, well, are you sure? Because Jennifer likes to switch things up sometimes. See, even Dolores then peeped Jennifer's game a little bit. And while I do feel for Jennifer going through this situation, Jennifer is often the architect of her own mess. So anyway, Marge says this. When it's her, Tracy, and Jennifer up in the treehouse. Marge says, well, girl, I called Serena, whoever that is. I called Serena and I asked her, well, what did Jennifer say when she called you? And she said, the girl said, well, that Jen said, oh, there's an Evan cheating rumor and Teresa wants to know. So let me reframe that for you. Margaret called Serena, who is a person that Jennifer called. Jennifer called Serena, allegedly. Okay, let me put it. Allegedly, Jennifer called Serena and said, Serena, girl, I heard there's some rumors going around about Evan, Jackie's husband. Teresa wanted me to call you and get the intel, okay? I said, well, if that don't beat all, it don't surprise me, to be quite honest with you. When Danielle told us that it was Teresa that told her to go and yank Margaret's ponytail out, I said to myself, now Teresa is definitely not above some foul stuff right there. And then I had to go back and start reflecting on things that happened earlier seasons when they was trying to make it out that Melissa was a stripper back in the day. And all signs had pointed to Teresa being part of the plot, but she swore up and down she was not part of it. But now I'm going back and looking at that situation with a second and a third eye, and I'm wondering to myself, did she really not have anything to do with it? I got to wonder about it. And then I need to know, girl, who is Serena? Who is Serena? Serena, can you pop up on the screen at some point, please? Let us know who Serena is if y'all don't already. I bet y'all know who know. Kim D. Kim D. Paola knows. I need to get Kim D on the line, okay? Because Kim D know everything just like Margaret do, okay? Anyway, Margaret then says that Teresa let Jennifer take the fall for doing all that digging, and Jackie and Dolores are having a separate conversation. Because Jackie had to help Dolores cross the trees in the treehouse and everything, and whatnot. And Dolores ultimately warns Margaret that Teresa is coming in hot today. Oh no, this all they actually. Let me take that back. It wasn't just the three of them in the treehouse when Margaret told them about that Serena information. They was all still together as a little group. Dolores basically tells her, well, listen, that all may be true and whatnot, but Teresa is coming in hot today, and she's coming for you. And Tracy, she's coming for you. And you know what Margaret says? Margaret's like, I don't give two itch. Okay? I don't give two itches about whether or not Teresa is coming in hot or not. I don't care. Okay? But Tracy look a little worried, okay, because she don't know what's about to happen. Jennifer arrives, and Melissa goes to talk to her, and they have a nice little apologetic ponderosa and decide to start fresh and to begin anew. And if she needs a shoulder to lean on, Melissa will be there for her. And I'm so glad to see it. Now, Teresa arrives with her workout gear for everybody, but she's ready to throw down, and because she's not in a good mood. And she is ready for Margaret after Margaret says, because Teresa is complaining the entire time. Teresa don't want to climb the trees. Teresa don't want to be dealing with no bugs. And Margaret tells her, well, girl, the bugs are probably going to be attracted to all that lip gloss you got on. And Teresa's lips is shining. They are shining. Anyway, you can tell Margaret was joking, but Teresa not here for Margaret today. She said, what you say about my lip gloss? Wet? Okay. So they start to pull the groups together. And Teresa is going in about, people talking about her behind her back. And Margaret is like, no, we say it to your face. You just be having temper tantrums. Let me tell you, Margaret was not here for Teresa's shenanigans today. And let me tell y'all why it thrills me so. Because for season after season after season, these girls have been afraid of Teresa Giudice for what reason? I have no clue about. I have no clue. Sure, she might have flipped the table. Sure, she might have pushed Andy Cohen. Sure, she might have told Danielle to yank on Margaret's ponytail. But honestly and truthfully, what is she really going to do to you? Stop being afraid of Teresa. That's all I got to say about it. I would like Teresa more if the rest of the cast wasn't so afraid of her. Okay? That's my opinion about this situation. And I just gotta roll with it with that. Margaret was like, not me today. Okay? It was giving me Carolyn Manzo tease. Like, I mean, what you want to do? Okay? What you want to do? We talk about you to your face. You just have temper tantrums and throw things. Okay? Teresa lets Margaret know, well, you're one of the people that I need to talk to anyway, okay? So we're going to talk. So Jackie guides Dolores, and they want to repair their relationship. She got her through the treetops and over the river and through the woods. Teresa is still complaining about Tracy asking questions, talking about Tiki asking the questions. Jennifer lets Tracy know, because it's Jennifer, Tracy, and Margaret in the treehouse, okay? And Tracy is like, well, I don't understand why I can't ask any questions. She's shaking in her boots. And Jennifer's like, well, that's just how Teresa is. She doesn't like anybody to ask any questions, and those are her terms. And Margaret is like, that is not a friendship. That's a dictatorship. And she is correct, okay? She is correct. And it's so interesting to see Jennifer finally realizing things about Teresa that I'm like, it has taken you this how many seasons to learn these lessons? Okay. Clearly, Jennifer, you have enough storyline to stand on your own. You don't need to be falling up and running behind Teresa, because Teresa likes some soldiers. Okay. And Jacqueline Larita tried to warn y'all about this way back in the day, but y'all didn't want to listen to her because y'all thought Jacqueline was crazy, but she is not. Okay. Anyway. So, Margaret says to Jennifer that she knows that Teresa made Jennifer call around about Evan and that she should have came to your defense and said, you girls are frying Jennifer and that's not right. And you know what Jennifer does? She nods her head. She nods her head. She totally nods her head because she know that Margaret is telling the truth. And somebody's saying clearly you don't like Teresa. What show are we watching? What show are we watching, El Boogie? What show are we watching? I told y'all, it's not that I don't like Teresa. We talking about the things that she is doing to these women. And if you don't see it and you just because you blindly like her, I'm cool with it. Love who you love, but you cannot escape the fact that Teresa is the orchestrator of a lot of the conflict on this show, and she's not taking any responsibility for it. She is not, okay? She is not. Anyway, Tracy asks Jennifer, how does it feel to know that Teresa did not defend you? Jennifer says, I expect it from her at this point. She even says that she realizes that Teresa does not go to bat for her the way that Jennifer goes to bat for her. But she enjoys Teresa because she feels like they share old school values and there's a certain amount of comfort that comes from being around her. And I feel like I think what Jennifer thought was that Teresa was going to be protecting her from the rest of these ladies. And Teresa, to be fair, is honestly in her own little love bubble, and she don't really have time to be dealing with these little issues that Jennifer got going on with her husband. She don't. Anyway, it's Tracy's turn to climb through the trees and go up the river and through the woods. And Teresa tells Melissa, girl, she your friend. I'm not guiding her. You guide her because I don't want to do it. I don't even like that girl. So Melissa has to guide Tracy through the thing. And Tracy was scared anyway because she's scared of heights. And you know she's scared. You know she's scared of Teresa. So Jackie and Dolores are talking amongst themselves, and they commiserate about the experience about climbing the trees and whatnot. And they both agree that you don't want Margaret on your bad side. And Jackie says Teresa has a lot of bark, but Marge is the one you need to keep on your good side, okay? And I told y'all why. Margaret knows all the secrets. She knows where all the bodies in New Jersey are buried, and she is not somebody that you want to cross because she know it all. Anyway, Teresa goes to check on Dolores and Jackie, and they relate that they are talking about Marge and Jennifer making up. Teresa is still mad that Margaret brought up Bill's cheating, and Jackie is like, well, Bill is the one that cheated. And Teresa's like, well, Margaret is the one who let the cat out of the bag. Teresa says, Marge took all the ish and dumped it out. And Marge, from her standpoint across the way, is like, okay, we can hear you. And Jennifer has to climb this tree, so shut it, okay? And Teresa says, well, you did it. And Margaret is like, Jen and I both own our part and we're better and we're grown up, unlike some other people here. Teresa says, well, otherwise, you know that you're going to look like Ish like you already do. And Marge is like, you look like Ish. And Teresa says, oh, I do? And let me tell you why I think Margaret's a G in this moment. Y'all can say, listen, you can like it or not, but let me tell you a G move. When you know the person behind you is about to roll up on you and you don't even turn around to know because you know they're not going to touch you. Okay? That's some G stuff right there, in my opinion. Okay? Anyway, Marge is like, you look like Ish. And Teresa's like, oh, I do. And then she's rolling up on her. Margaret's like, you look like Ish all last year. What's up? Teresa come running down that hill. I was like, what's about to happen right now? I like it because I feel like Margaret and Teresa are the perfect foils for each other on this show. You need to have on every franchise two boss women who are not afraid of each other. That's what makes it good. This show is not good when all of those women are afraid of Teresa. It is not good. It's just not a good show. Everybody's trying to kiss up to her and they're not telling her, hey, this is not right. Then it doesn't make for a good show. Teresa is much more interesting to me when she is in battle with someone who can match her like Margaret. That's just the truth of the matter. It's just the truth of the matter. It is. You can't run around doing all of these things. Last year, it was all about, spreading a rumor about Evan. And now you so concerned. Here's the thing that's and that's so crazy about the situation. Last year, Teresa was so consumed with spreading this rumor about Evan that now that she has found a man, the news is all about the things that this man is doing. And so when it's actually brought up on the show, she's upset and can't nobody talk about him. That's some real hypocrisy right there. It don't make no sense to me. It really don't make no sense to me. She was able to get away with telling Danielle to pull Margaret's hair, and granted, Danielle did it on her own. Danielle, that was your dumb move right there, because you should not have listened to nobody tell you to go pull somebody's hair. That was probably the straw that broke the camel's back that led to you not being on that show no more. And if you thought that you was going to release that information and the network was going to choose you and not Teresa, you got another thing coming, because at the end of the day, they know that Teresa brings the drama. It doesn't. Now, I will tell you that she brings the drama and she brings the chaos. Okay. So, I mean, listen, but when you have a person like that, you need a counterpart that can go up against them, that ain't afraid of them. That's what you need. And that's why this show is so good. And that is why this show is so good. Okay. Whew. Well, all right, y'all. That's the news for today. I thank you for tuning in. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know we ain't gonna always agree. Y'all know we ain't gonna always agree. And I'm here for it. You listen, you can tell me I am wrong. You can have your opinion. We do it respectfully. We have a good old time on this channel, and every day is a ponderosa, okay? Every day is a ponderosa. And let me also state this, because some people will watch this video and not get it. We don't want bad for none of these reality TV stars. I don't want bad for Lewis and Teresa. If he makes her happy, so be it. You know what I'm saying? This I'm not about exposing nothing or nothing like that. I don't care about stuff like that. I care about watching enjoyable television, okay? I care about watching television that is enjoyable and that is a little scandalous, that we can talk and yip and laugh about later, okay? So please don't be offended, okay? Please don't be offended ever, because I ain't that type of person. We're going to have a good old time over here no matter what. With that being said, y'all, that's all I got. That y'all done zapped all my energy, okay? Y'all done zapped all my energy today. I love y'all, and y'all know what I always say. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video.